Hey guys, and welcome back to my mermaid workshop series here. Yes, I finally have a name for it. Who's excited? I'm excited. I hope you're excited. For those of you who are new, I'm Courtney Mermaid, and I make mermaid tails and I swim in them. And in this video, I'm going to be working on a new mermaid top for myself. This is for my newest tail. I've actually needed a top for a while. I've been swimming with a Little Mermaid like Ariel top that I got from Hot Topic, and it just doesn't quite do the job, if you know what I mean. So if you don't know what I mean, let me tell you guys a thing or two about mermaid tops, since that's what I'm working on. Mermaid tops are a really difficult thing to deal with. So in a lot of cases, they create a lot more drag than they do actual like comfort and protection, if you will. And this mermaid top that I have, this one that I've been using, this Ariel one, has if I swim and I swim a little bit too, enthusiastically, if you will, the top just comes right down because of all the drag. So when you're making a mermaid top, you actually have to really take these things into consideration. The little tops that you see me working on here, these are actually like, I think these were only like $5 from Walmart. I bought a whole bunch of them a couple of years ago, and I still have, I think, 3 left. I haven't seen them around though, so I'm a little concerned that they're not really a thing anymore, but I really should just learn how to make these on my own. They aren't honestly that difficult to do. I'm just a bit lazy, and I like to have something pre-made that I can try on and just be like ready to go. So I know there are some mermaids who also use plain bras to make their mermaid tops. I've done that in the past as well, and I've had mixed success. There was one that I wore for a really long time, for almost a year, and I had to constantly repaint the darn thing because most bras are actually like the cup and then this really sheer material over top, and the sheer material does not hold paint at all. At all, anyways. So, yeah, and they're expensive too. Like buying a bra versus buying like a little swimsuit top is we're talking $5 versus like $50, $60 here. So, yeah, that's why I've been doing this the way that I've been doing this. These little tops have been great. I actually have a version of this top where I actually got dollar store plastic, like clamshell, shells, and actually sewed it on there, added some greenery that I also got from the dollar store, and overall it's a pretty cheap top to make, but actually looks pretty good. For these ones, again, to avoid too much drag, I really like the tops to be super simple, with not a whole lot going on. I like to just have it, yeah, not a lot of extra pieces. The yellow one, you can see I have like a little piece of vinyl that I've painted a little bit and got some dots on there and stuff. It doesn't show up a lot underwater, but out of the water it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't have the biggest boobs or anything, but can I say boobs on my YouTube channel? I don't know. Anyways, but it's still, if you're leaning around and mermaids are expected to sit a certain way, and you just want to make sure that the girls aren't going anywhere. So that's kind of important. So guys are lucky. The mermen don't have to worry about this, They can just have some cool bracers, a circlet or something, like a crown, maybe some long hair. It's like, it's all good with that. But here we have to figure out, the finer points. Anyways, for those of you who are going to ask, the paint that I use, so the green base color is Permaset Aqua. This is just their regular screen printing ink. It's not the super cover or anything like that. And the shiny blue paint you see me dabbing into there is Lumiere, also fabric paint. And that one is pretty expensive, but it does I find they work really well together. So it gives a nice shine, whereas the green is just more of the cover. And I find that works together pretty well. And yeah, what else could I really tell you guys about this? For the stencil that I made, You can check out my previous tutorials on mermaidschool.ca, or you can look them up in I've got a playlist on my channel as well, talking about how to make yourself a fun little stencil like this. I find making it out of that plastic folder, like if you go to a Staples or an Office Depot or London Drugs, they have these like dividers for, you know, your different classes or just, you know, different documents and stuff. And I find they actually work really well as a stencil. I've been reusing this one a couple of times now. I've done 2 tails with this stencil, and I'm still using the same stencil, so it's great. Yeah, it's a bit hard to paint this area here because the fabric bunches up, so it creates this fun little spot. But luckily, the way these tops sit, that part actually sort of folds underneath, so you don't really see that bottom part. So as long as the top of the top looks nice and everything lines up really well, and plus the sequins, I add a few sequins to it, and that works really well. The sequins I get from Cartwright Sequins, and links to everything is actually all of the information for all of the supplies and everything that I use, how to make mermaid tails and everything, and I literally do mean everything, can be found on mermaidschool.ca underneath the various subheadings. So I actually do walk through how to make mermaid tails from scratch by yourself. Yeah, and also I'm trying to do a better job of getting you guys over to my Patreon page. I am actually doing a behind the scenes, more in-depth look at a special tale that my current patrons, have actually helped me sort of decide on and get the base design for. And if you guys want access to that to see what I'm up to, because I'm only sharing that information and those videos specifically for my patrons, only on that sort of venue. So that's patreon.com / Vancouver Mermaid. I'll have a link to it in the description below. And if you guys want to check it out, that'd be sweet. But yeah, I'm enjoying making these little videos. I haven't been getting a lot in the way of questions. If you guys have specific things you would like me to cover in these videos, please feel free to do so, so that I can have some content and things to talk about. But yeah, these don't take too long. This is probably, I'd say, an hour's worth of footage that I've sped up, give or take. Maybe it was like 45 minutes. There was a lot from the beginning where it was just me running around trying to find my tools. But yeah, I will say, definitely as we come towards the end of this here, that less is more when it comes to mermaid tops, in my opinion. That's only my opinion. If you want to have like a crazy like octopus top, or you want to go have like crazy shells and all kinds of cool stuff, that's definitely awesome. If you find you're frustrated, it might be a little heavy, definitely look at having a top that you just swim in. That's something a little bit more simple. And there's no rules, right? Sort of anything goes. You can be as creative as you want with it. You can try something that nobody else has. I'm thinking of trying one that's more of a tank top, but like a little bit shorter style for a future mermaid tail, because I've got 2 tails actually in the works right now, one for my patrons and one that I'm sharing with you guys on here and on my Instagram. So that's going to be happening. But yeah, the tops themselves don't take too long to make, to paint rather, because I don't actually make these ones myself. But maybe one of these days I'll try. Anywho, so yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm about to wrap it up here. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I am doing my best to get at the very least weekly content going again, where I'm doing either a mermaid workshop video in this series, or a mermaid swim session, where I'm also thinking of doing voiceover and talking and giving tips on how to swim as a mermaid and things like that. There is going to be other content that will return to this channel as I get things a little bit more under control, but I do want to make sure that I'm just being more consistent with these videos before I dive in, if you will, and start getting back to like multiple postings per week. But yeah, so look at me, I'm all finished. Oh, it's so exciting. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Okay, bye!